Scott Novus here with another video about my where to go to find what I need to know video. I call it personal knowledge management. Where, not what. I don't have to remember everything. I just need to know where to find everything. And a lot of times I get questions about, oh, how do you use this? And here, this morning was a perfect example. I'm sitting here looking at my daily note, popped up October 14th. I had grabbed some quotes from people that I knew today. And then while I was going through WhatsApp, I came across this excellent advice from Noah Rosenfarb. He is a phenomenal CPA and all around money guru from EO, South Florida. And he shared this advice about his family trust. And how I use this is first capture it, get it in my daily note. But what are you going to do with it? Well, if you're fortunate enough to have a trust set up, which regardless of how much money you have, Susie Orman advocated this years and years ago, get a trust. I have an area called family, and in my notes would be family. And in there, I can add a branch that talks about trust review, and I use a pretty simple, it's actually a pretty complicated macro to create a new branch. And lo and behold, right there, I get a new note linked to my family note index. And I can take that content from today, grab the whole thing, and paste it into notes for my trust review. So when I review my trust, please make sure to reference this excellent advice from Noah. Now, the beauty is I don't have to think about this anymore. And in fact, I can delete it from my daily note, so it's removed. And I can even put a link to trust review in the daily note so that it is directly linked back to what I'm working on. So this gives you a practical example of the type of flow that I use. Find something interesting, grab it, throw it in your daily note. Then later, you might think, where does that belong? Where, not what. And so that is part of how I manage my family. Maybe I could put it under finances, wherever resonates for you, because you're only going to look in one of two places, and it's worst comes to worst, search for it. But that's an example of how I use Obsidian as my personal knowledge management and a practical example of capturing information and then pushing it out to where it will be most useful for me in the future.